Welcome again to Knies 3311. This is the summer 2016 section of the course. This is the first video that will be part of the module section, and since in general the first day most students love to think about that as syllabus day, that's exactly what the first video will cover. So we're going to briefly go through the syllabus. I'm going to kind of hit the high points to make sure that this video doesn't get too long, but then I really want you to go through, read through it, make sure you have any questions, and at the end go into the modules, and again there is an assignment that just goes through and make sure, check off that you have looked through the syllabus and don't have any questions for me to cover. Again, I'm your instructor, Dr. Michael Wiggs, and this class is going to be a 5-week Summer 1 course. It will be completely online. That means that it meets asynchronously. In other words, there isn't a specific set time that you have to come to class, and all of the content will be delivered via Blackboard. We'll talk more about the layout and how that works here in just a little bit. My office is kind of tricky to find. I didn't do that on purpose, but it is not the most student-friendly place to find. I'm somewhat hidden. If you come into the Harrington Patriot Center, I am in office number 3045. You won't be able to walk down any halls and find that. You actually have to poke into a makeshift classroom, which is HPC 3035, and then you'll find my office in there. One thing I'll note is that there are no classes scheduled in this classroom, so you never have to worry about if you're interrupting a teacher or another class or someone doing any work. This classroom is vacant for the time being and will eventually become my working research lab, and so don't feel like you're interrupting. So if you ever need to come talk to me and meet me in my office hours, you can do that. I have no real true set office hours this summer, but I'll be here during most business hours, Monday through Friday, 9-ish to 5, give or take. I have an open door policy and welcome any student who wants to come in, ask questions, get feedback. I'm here as a resource, and my goal is to help you learn. I will, in general, recommend that if you can send me an email just to make sure I'll be in my office, that would be best, so that you're not coming up here in the off chance that I'm in a meeting or teaching or doing something down in the other research lab that we have set up. You can reach me at my email, mwiggs@uttyler.edu. You'll be able to find that again in the Meet Your Instructor link in the Blackboard course at all points in time. So what are we going to use for this course? The required textbook that we're going to use for this class is called Exercise Physiology, Integrating Theory and Application. It's the 2nd edition. It's written by a very, very well-known exercise physiologist, Bill Kramer, who was at the University of Connecticut, and that's where he's most known. He's editor-journal in Strength and Conditioning Journal, and does a lot of work in strength and conditioning, and is very well known in NSCA and things like that. So you may have heard of Bill Kramer. He's now at the Ohio State University, and again, he wrote a really great textbook that I think covers a lot of stuff from basic physiology and really working into exercise, which, as we'll go through, is kind of the main point of this course. Sometimes I think students can feel like they can get away without buying a book, and sometimes I do feel that is okay. But for an online course, honestly, the course content is so heavy and so much that you need as many resources as possible. So I'll do my best in videos, but ultimately when you can't see me face-to-face and ask questions immediately, and sometimes there can be a long delayed response, I think the textbook is absolutely crucial. I will follow this textbook pretty closely and reference it a lot. So in my opinion, this textbook truly is required for this course, not just a recommended requirement that I think you should get. So go out and get this if you haven't already. The description for this course is, again, to examine the physiology behind how our body responds to exercise. And we can look at that in 2 ways. One is an acute exercise, so just getting up, getting out, going walking, going running, and moving, that we would consider acute. And then looking at the adaptations that happen if you do this repeated bout after repeated bout after repeated bout otherwise known as exercise training, and looking at the response to those. And so we'll really focus in on three main areas and then hit some special topics. Those three main areas are neuromuscular, metabolic adaptations, and cardiorespiratory responses to exercise. As a prerequisite, this course requires successful completion of A&P 1 and 2. The reason that we do this is because I assume that you already know all of this. So for example, as we get into the neuromuscular section first, I'll assume that you already understand how an action potential works, because that's something that you definitely have had in anatomy and physiology. And so while we may review it, we're going to breeze through it, and then you will be fully expected to have already known that from anatomy and physiology. Furthermore, we have a co-requisite for this class. Again, this is co-enrollment in Kines 3312, the exercise physiology lab. What we'll be doing in that class is taking many of the concepts that we have done in this course. We'll dive a little bit deeper. I'll give some great, depending on how you look at it, I think they're great, maybe not, analogies to how these work. Try to bring them as much as I can into the applied physiology world, and then get you some hands-on training and lab experience in very general procedures that lots of exercise physiology labs will do. If you're not enrolled, let me know, and we can either get you enrolled or figure out why you're not enrolled. I'll let you guys read through the general student learning outcomes again so that we can make this video as short as possible. All right, so the course structure. Blackboard is going to be used to deliver all of the content in this course. I have a good feeling that since this is a junior level course, most of you guys have had experience with Blackboard. If not, there's plenty of resources at UT Tyler that can help you get started. But you can access it through the UT Tyler main website if you need help logging on, and then there's plenty of getting help for students links in there if you've never used Blackboard before. I will somewhat assume that you guys have at least a basic understanding of how to log into Blackboard, how to access modules, and how to move through that. If not, again, contact me and we can work you through those. The context of this course is going to be designed and organized into essentially daily modules that will be accessed through the modules tab. These daily modules is going to be set up somewhat like you were just coming to class every single day. And I kind of want to stress that. This isn't a course that, A, you could just get done all in 1 week and be done and have the rest of the summer to play. 2, it's not something that you could just put off and completely forget about and to be like, oh yeah, like our final's July 6th. I think I need to do all of that course. This course is going to be structured such that new modules will be released every single day. In general, in the morning, you will then access those modules, and then you'll have a couple of days to do assignments. That gives you a couple day windows if you don't have the ability to access it that day, but you're going to need to kind of stay on top. I do that for 2 reasons. 1, I think it really improves learning, right? So that you aren't just cramming as much material as you can into a shorter amount of time as possible. If you break it up into smaller daily chunks, I think that really helps improve student learning. And because exercise physiology really is a core course that you're going to take 3 more courses in the very near future that really build upon these courses, it's really important that you understand this material. Second, for you to get the most out of the lab that you're going to be doing downstairs, you really need to be stay on top of the work in this class. The lab has been specifically designed such that the content delivered in the lab is going to be very closely related to the content that I'm delivering that day in the course, that day or a couple days later. So my goal for those setups is to have you look in the lab or look at the module, complete the modules, and then that afternoon or within a couple days that you will be relearning, kind of re-hitting those concepts so that you can really get them ingrained down in the lab. And so since they're synced up like that, you really got to stick with it. So again, these will be daily modules usually posted in the morning, and you'll find that these modules will be very consistent. They'll have objectives, usually a reading assignment that's going to come, again, handy textbook, can't say enough, highly recommend it. And then there will, in general, be some recorded lectures similar to this. So I'll either record myself or pull off some great resources from the web from some of the experts in these topics who are covering these so that you can hear from the world's leading experts in these topics. And then you'll also have Some discussion topics, that's one of your assignments today, is to get on and have a discussion, aka just introduce yourself, and then there'll be a couple of quizzes. So that leads us to grades, and what I think most students really want to know out of syllabus day is, okay, how do I get the grades, and how do they work? So they work like this. There'll be 4 exams, exam over kind of each of the major topics, again, neuromuscular, cardio, and metabolism. And then we'll have a cumulative final that will include those 3 sections plus respiratory and some special topics. Those are all worth 150 points apiece. We'll also, again, have discussions posted either in Blackboard or Flipgrid, which is intro today as well. And then those are worth 150 points, or essentially an exam. We'll also have in-module activities, which are worth 100 a point, and end-of-module quizzes. I'll hit what those mean as we go through. Again, there'll be 3 regular exams during the semester and a cumulative final. Exams will be multiple choice, true, false, short answer. I'll do my best to try to mimic what these exams will look like in your quizzes, so that when you come to take that first exam, at least you have some type of idea of what types of questions and how I'm going to word them. That's my goal, is when you take the online quizzes at the end of modules, that you will then be essentially also learning how I'm writing questions and be prepared what the exam will be like. We'll host review sessions. I will contact you guys and see what y'all think about when is the best time to host review sessions. But the way I host review sessions is via Zoom teleconferencing. Essentially, I'll just host a meeting where you guys can log in, and what we'll do is we'll have a review session in question and answer formats. So you guys bring questions to me. I'll answer them in real time with video conferencing. And then the good news is, if you can't make those, that those reviews will be recorded, placed on Blackboard, and you can watch them without a problem. So if there's some reason that the time that we have set up for this question and answer session doesn't work for you, then you can email me questions. I'll answer them over the video, and then you can watch the video recorded and posted on Blackboard later. Discussions, these assignments will take several different forms, including recording video, forum discussion, case studies, and writing assignments. The one that we're going to get in today is recording video using Flipgrid, which I think I'm excited, and is something kind of totally new that I'm adding to this course, so we'll see if you guys like that. In-module activities, these are going to be activities that are going to help you evaluate your progress in learning through each module. The good thing about these for students is they're going to allow unlimited attempts in order to ensure that you understand the concepts that are being provided. So as you're working yourself through the module, there'll be different learning activities, some in just matching, or maybe put things in order, or your very basic true, false, or multiple choice questions. If you get them wrong, no big deal. Just go back, take it again, and make sure you get all the right answers, and you can get full credit for those, because of course these are going to also play a part in your grade. There will also be end-of-module quizzes. End-of-module quizzes will be one chance only, and they are essentially for you to gauge how well you've learned the material covered in that topic. So in general, we won't necessarily have end-of-module quizzes daily, but we'll have several of them, and those will kind of be, again, similar to what the exam is going to be like. My goal is to get your feedback as quick as possible. A lot of this stuff will be instant, right? It's nice that it's online, and that if it's short answer, or as long as it's not a short answer question or draw some type of graph, then you will get the feedback almost instantly. So summer class, I think I have about a week to get grades here done. I know that I'm on the same timeline you guys are, so I'll have to bust it, and 1 week is definitely long term for me, so I will plan to be done much sooner than 1 week with getting assignments. Don't count on extra credit for this course. This is kind of your general statement. We'll see how things go, but I don't plan on giving any extra credit, and please don't be at the end of the semester come back and say, oh, I need extra credit for 1 point, what can I do? Because I won't offer any of that. If you're having problems early in the semester, contact me, email me, stop by, and we can kind of help you build a plan in order to succeed for the rest of the class, so that you aren't begging for extra credit at the end of the course. All right, so here is a tentative course structure. Today, Monday, June 6th, is course introductions. And again, we will use Flipgrid to do that in the assignments. And then we will get into neuromuscular, structure and function of muscle response to exercise, organization of the nervous system, motor units and their response to exercise, and that will be week 1. The exam over this content will be next Monday, so a week from today. Again, 5-week online exercise physiology course. We are screaming through material, and you're gonna have to keep up. And so what I've done is you can take a look at the overall, as I zoom out here, the overall look at how the course is designed is that we will cover all the topics in 1 week and have an exam on Monday after covering that. I hope that is how students would prefer it. That's how I would prefer it if I were a student, and when I was a student, that's how I preferred it. Get all your content in, have the weekend to study, learn that content, come in, take your exam on Monday, and then start the next topic after that. So you'll see we'll then jump into metabolism after exam 1 in week 2. Again, same concept, exam on Monday. Then we will get into cardiovascular system, week 3, exam on Monday. Respiratory systems, we'll get into a little bit of hormones as well, but you'll notice no exam on Monday, July 4th, and no exam on Tuesday, the day after July 4th either. 1, we don't have class, there'll be no modules posted, but 2, I won't make an assignment due the day after July 4th as well, so you guys will have at least a little bit of a weekend to kind of go out and enjoy and relax and not have to worry about this course. We'll cover a couple special topics. Actually, we'll have a colleague of mine in town that day, and we're actually going to do a seminar that you guys will be invited to over some muscle physiology related to space. We'll have a day for reviews, and then our final exam will be determined by the university once that is set. And then a little bit of house cleaning. So I recommend you guys all go look up. These are all just general policies that the University of UT Tyler is consistent with, and that we as faculty are encouraged to promote in all of our classes. This includes discouraging academic dishonesty. We can call cheating as copying from another student, or giving aid or seeking aid from someone, aka this is an online class. Don't go get someone who isn't in the class to come answer all of your questions. I don't have a great way to monitor that, so it will just be up to you to be honest. Using material using material when I've asked you not to, so taking a quiz or something, open notes when I've asked you not to, taking or attempting to take an exam for another student, or allowing another student to take an exam for oneself, using or obtaining or attempting to obtain any part of an unadministered exam as well. Plagiarism includes acknowledgement, incorporation of work of another person that student offers credit for. Any writing assignments that we do here will be submitted through SafeAssign, so I'll be able to actually monitor plagiarism through that, and you guys can actually look through that report as well to make sure that you aren't plagiarizing anything without by accidentally doing that. Again, university policies, if you guys have any questions, I suggest you guys go through student rights and responsibilities. These include grade replacement, course drop, disability services, absence for religious observance, and absence for university-sponsored events. So I'll just make a quick comment about that. Since it's online, you shouldn't have too much of a problem with being away, because in general there'll be a day or two before or after the module is posted in order to get the assignments due. So it shouldn't be a problem. If it is, let me know. If you have any learning disabilities, what you need to do is contact disability services and then have them contact me, and you need to do that early on in the semester. And then Social Security and FERPA. The University of Texas at Tyler takes this stuff very serious, and so what they've essentially encouraged us as professors to do is say that there is no electronic transmission of grades being sent over electronics. So the only way that I can get you grades is one of two ways. You can follow along through Blackboard and see how they go. To be honest, this is my first time teaching summer here at UT Tyler, so I don't know if Blackboard grades disappear towards the end of the semester so that you don't know what your grade is. I'll have to look into that. But in other words, if they disappear and you aren't able to see them, don't email me and say, hey, what's my grade? My general email response will be, UT Tyler suggests that I not send grades over email. I'm happy to discuss grades with you in my office in person. All right, so with that, I think that covers all of the syllabus in a pretty brief manner. Again, I want you guys to go through, read through this again, look over it, make sure that there aren't anything that you missed or have questions about. If so, send me an email and we can chat about that over that. All right, let's get ready to get started. It'll be a fun day. We'll start into skeletal muscle next week, or next week, by tomorrow. And I'll make this comment right before it as I get ready to sign off. So I keep saying week, and that's just because I'm still in the fall, spring semesters. But realistically, what I want you to understand and think about as we go through the semester is that 1 day of course in the summer is essentially equal to about a week of content in the normal semester. Right? So it's a lot of content, It doesn't quite work out that way, but yeah, 1 class day is equal to about a week. And so that'll give you an idea of how fast the content's going to flow. So muscle starts tomorrow, which as you'll learn is my favorite part as I get into my intros. So go check out my intro on Flipgrid, add your own, and get to seeing the students that you're going to be sharing this class experience with. Have a great one.